You've probably heard it 1,000 times. If you just copy the habits of the rich, you'll get rich too. But what if I told you that some of these so-called rich people habits are actually keeping you broke without you even realizing it? Here's the hard truth. Blindly chasing the billionaire lifestyle might be the reason your bank account is stuck at zero. From hustling nonstop to buying into every shiny investment trend, it's easy to fall for the hype until you're the one left holding the bag. Today, we're exposing the 15 rich people habits that keep you broke. And trust me, nobody's talking about these. Ready to stop playing the losing game? Let's go. Let's get real for a second. Why do so many smart, hard-working people never break free from financial struggle, while others seem to attract wealth almost effortlessly? You've probably heard all the cliches. Just work harder. Get a good job. Be patient and success will come. But look around. Most people who follow those rules still end up stuck, stressed, and always worried about money. The truth? It's not about intelligence. It's not about luck. It's not even about how much you earn. It's about the hidden habits and mindsets that quietly sabotage your progress, sometimes without you even realizing it. In this video, we're diving into 15 things poor people do that the rich simply don't. Some of these might surprise you, some might even sting a little, but if you're willing to face them head on, your entire financial future could change, starting today. Ready? Let's count down from number 15. Obsessed with hustle. Ignore real life. They told you to hustle harder, that working 24/7 is what makes the rich even richer. But here's a secret almost nobody will say out loud. This obsession with non-stop hustle is exactly why so many smart people end up broke, burned out, or even hospitalized. Think about it. In Silicon Valley, thousands of high-earning tech workers chased the hustle culture so hard, they forgot to actually live. In 2018, a well-known tech founder with over $15 million net worth collapsed from exhaustion and lost everything, fortune, company, and health, just because he believed sleep is for the weak. What most self-help books won't tell you: hustle is not the answer. Relentless grind without rest is a recipe for disaster. The wealthiest people? They work smart, not just hard. They know when to stop, recharge, and protect their minds. Here's the real flex. Financial freedom isn't about running yourself into the ground. It's about building a system that lets you own your time and your life. So, before you buy another no days off mug, ask yourself, are you building wealth or just working yourself into poverty? Why poor people buy on sale? Ever wonder why that sale sign grabs your attention? Poor people are obsessed with discounts. It feels like you're saving money, right? But here's the truth. When you buy something just because it's on sale, you're not saving. You're spending. Rich people don't chase sales. They buy what they need, when they need it, at the best quality they can afford. Meanwhile, poor people end up with closets full of cheap things they barely use, while the rich invest in value. The harsh reality? Buying on sale often keeps you stuck in a cycle of cheap now, pay more later, because the things you buy don't last, and you end up spending more to replace them. If you want to break the pattern, start asking, do I actually need this, or am I just addicted to the thrill of saving a few bucks? Let's talk about a habit that quietly destroys your potential: waking up late. Here's the hard truth. While you're still hitting the snooze button, someone else is already out there chasing opportunities, making moves, and building their future. Most self-made millionaires have something in common. They start their day earlier than everyone else. They use the quiet hours to plan, learn, and invest in themselves before the rest of the world wakes up. But when you wake up late, you instantly start your day in catch-up mode. You rush. You skip things that matter, like breakfast, reading, or even thinking about your goals. And the worst part? This becomes a cycle. Days turn into months, months turn into years, and you wonder why you feel stuck. Success isn't about one big decision. It's about thousands of tiny choices, made every single morning. If you want to get ahead, start by owning your mornings. If this feels uncomfortable, that's the point. Growth never happens inside your comfort zone. So tomorrow, try waking up an hour earlier than usual. Use that time to invest in yourself. You might be surprised how quickly your life starts to change. Dangerous habit number 5, extreme ownership. Why blaming yourself isn't always the answer. You've heard it everywhere. Take responsibility for everything. Own your mistakes. If you're broke, it's your fault. But here's the problem. This rich people mindset can be toxic when taken to the extreme. Some of the most ambitious people blame themselves for every setback. Instead of learning, they spiral into guilt, anxiety, and never ask for help until they burn out or break down completely. Micro story. A famous Silicon Valley entrepreneur once said, "I thought blaming myself for every loss would make me unstoppable. Instead, it nearly destroyed my health and my business. I wish I'd asked for help sooner." The truth? Growth comes from reflection, not self-punishment. Sometimes you fail because the game is rigged, or you simply need a new strategy. Don't let extreme ownership keep you stuck. Know when to take responsibility and when to seek support. Poor people spend money before they get it. Ever notice how payday feels like a fresh start? But for some, it's gone before it even arrives. Poor people often spend money they expect to get, not what's actually in their wallet. They swipe credit cards for things they can't really afford, order the newest gadgets, or commit to big purchases, all before the money even hits their account. It's like running a race where you spend all your energy before you even leave the starting line. Meanwhile, wealthy people play it differently. They buy with money they already have, or better yet, money they made from their investments. Spending before earning is a guaranteed way to stay stuck. If you want to escape the cycle, remember, never count on money you haven't received, and never spend more than you can afford to lose. The fast food trap. Cheap now, costly later. Ever wondered why drive-through lanes are always packed, especially at the end of the month? I once read about a young employee, let's call him Mike, who spent almost a third of his paycheck every month on fast food. He thought he was saving money, but by the end of the year, he couldn't believe how little he'd saved. A recent survey by the USDA shows that lower-income households spend up to 40% more on fast food than higher-income groups, despite earning less. Why? Because it's marketed as affordable comfort, a quick reward after a long day. But the cost adds up fast. Medical bills from unhealthy diets, lower productivity from poor nutrition, and the hidden drain on your wallet. Look at the long-term impact. While rich people budget for quality groceries and even meal prep for the week, the poor often choose convenience. It's not about laziness. It's about survival and stress. But this cycle silently eats away at their wealth and health. The truth? Cheap meals are secretly expensive. The wealthiest people rarely touch junk food. They invest in what fuels their body and brain for success. Are you eating for comfort or for your future? Drop a comment if you've ever fallen for the fast food trap. No savings, no security. Why living paycheck to paycheck is a trap. Ever heard the phrase, just survive until payday? Meet Sarah, a graphic designer in her 20s. Every month she hustles just to pay bills, never saving a cent. Then her laptop breaks. No savings, no backup plan, and suddenly her freelance career is on the line. According to a 2023 Bankrate survey, nearly 60% of Americans can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense from their savings. Most people think, wait, it won't happen to me, until it does. But here's what most don't realize. Having no savings doesn't just make you vulnerable to crisis. It blocks every opportunity. If you have a financial cushion, you can invest, move, or seize chances the moment they show up. Without it, you're always stuck, no matter how hard you work. The rich treat savings like armor. The poor treat it like an afterthought until it's too late. When was the last time you paid yourself first? Drop A in the comments if you're ready to start building real security. The credit trap. Why borrowing for non-assets keeps you poor? Remember Alex. He got his first credit card in college. At first, it felt like free money. He used it for new shoes, gadgets, even vacations. Soon, the bills piled up. By age 25, Alex was drowning in debt, paying interest on things he didn't even own anymore. A 2023 report from LendingTree found that the average American credit card debt hit a record high, over $7,000. The most dangerous part? Most of this debt isn't used for building wealth, but for buying things that lose value the second you pay for them. Rich people use debt to buy assets, things that make them more money like property, investments, or businesses. Poor people use debt to buy stuff that's gone tomorrow, clothes, phones, parties. The buy now, pay later mentality might feel empowering, but it's a trap. Every swipe is a chain to your future self. Ask yourself, if you had to pay cash for everything, would you still buy it? Stay tuned, because the next habit is even sneakier, and almost nobody realizes they're doing it. Why having more kids too early can keep you broke. Micro story. Maya and Dave loved the idea of a big family. By age 25, they already had 3 kids. But with every new child, their finances got tighter. Suddenly, dreams of starting a business or traveling vanished, replaced by bills and sleepless nights. A recent USDA report estimates that raising a child in the U.S. costs over $250,000 until age 18. That doesn't even count college or emergencies. Most wealthy families wait until they're stable before having children. They plan, save, and invest. Meanwhile, many struggle because they never planned for the long-term cost. It's not about how many kids you have. It's about when and how you prepare. Rushing into parenthood for happiness now can trap you in financial stress for decades. If you could plan your financial life all over again, what would you change? Stay tuned, because the next trap is even harder to spot and hits everyone, rich or poor. Skipping health checkups? That might cost you millions. James was a driven entrepreneur, always grinding, always skipping doctor appointments, until one day, a routine checkup turned into emergency surgery. The worst part? He could have caught it a year earlier, if he hadn't ignored the signs. According to the CDC, preventable chronic diseases cause 7 out of 10 deaths in the U.S., and treating these diseases costs over $3 trillion a year. Many of them could have been avoided with regular screenings. Wealthy people treat health like an investment. They track it like their bank balance. Poor people? They wait until it's an emergency, when the cost is highest and the damage is done. Neglecting your health isn't saving you money, it's building a financial time bomb. Hospital bills can wipe out years of savings in weeks. If your body was a business, would it still be profitable? Coming up, the mindset that destroys dreams before they even begin. Spending money before you get it, the payday illusion. Tyler just got a new job offer. Before his first paycheck even hit, he bought new clothes, gadgets, and started planning a weekend trip. But when payday came, most of his money was already gone. Sound familiar? A 2023 CNBC report found that 63% of Americans spend money they don't have, relying on credit cards or future income. It's called the payday illusion, and it keeps people broke. The wealthy wait until cash is in their account before making big purchases. They avoid counting on promises or commissions that haven't cleared yet. Spending money you don't have isn't optimism. It's sabotage. This habit doesn't just wreck your finances, it destroys your peace of mind. What would you do differently if you could only spend what you already had? Stick around, because the next mistake is a silent wealth killer. Surrounded by the wrong people, the company that keeps you broke. Imagine this. Every time Jenna tried to save money or launch a side hustle, her friends rolled their eyes. "That's a waste of time," they'd say. Eventually, she stopped trying, just to fit in. Stanford research shows that your 5 closest friends are the single biggest predictor of your income, habits, and even your health. If everyone around you thinks broke is normal, chances are you will too. The rich actively network and seek out people who push them higher. The poor, they stick with familiar circles, even if those circles are holding them back. It's not loyalty to stay with people who sabotage your dreams. Sometimes upgrading your environment is the fastest way to upgrade your bank account. Look around. Are your friends inspiring you or quietly keeping you small? Up next, the fatal habit even the most talented people fall into. The idea graveyard. Why never finishing crushes your wealth. Ben had a new business idea every month. He'd make mood boards, pitch friends, even buy domain names, but never launched a single project. After years, all he had was a list of what could have been. Research from the University of Scranton shows that over 90% of people never follow through on their big goals. Most great ideas never even make it past the planning stage. Self-made millionaires aren't always the smartest or the most creative. They're the ones who finish. They turn ideas into action, even if it means failing, learning, and trying again. It's safer to dream than to build, but dreams alone never pay the bills. The richest graveyards are full of unfinished projects. How many ideas have you buried this year? Stay till the end, because the last habit is the deadliest of all. Waiting for a handout. The myth that keeps you stuck. Every year, Marcus told himself, next year will be better. Maybe someone will finally notice my potential. He waited for the promotion, the miracle, the lottery ticket. But nothing ever changed. A Pew Research survey found that nearly 50% of Americans believe luck or outside help is the biggest factor in financial success. But study after study proves self-made wealth almost always comes from relentless action, not handouts. The rich build their own ladders. They don't wait for a handout, a bailout, or a secret investor to appear. They move first, even when no one's watching. Hope is not a strategy. The world doesn't owe you anything. Wealth goes to the ones who build, not the ones who wait. If you want to change your life, don't wait for permission. Because here's the real secret. Success isn't given. It's claimed. You've just unlocked 15 habits that keep people broke. Habits nobody wants to admit, but almost everyone falls into. The truth? Most rich people advice online is just recycled myths. But you're not here to stay average. You're here to break the cycle. Now, here's your challenge. Which habit surprised you the most? Which one will you change first? Drop your answer in the comments. If you learned something new today, hit the like button so YouTube knows to show this to more future millionaires. And if you want more hard-hitting, no BS money truths every week, make sure you subscribe to Wealth Tactics and turn on notifications. We don't just talk about wealth, we teach you how to build it. Remember, success doesn't happen by accident. It happens by action. See you in the next video.